Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about the sdg14, life below water. And as we said to the previous video about sdg15, life on land, whatever we do on land, it ends up in the water, in our seas, lakes, rivers. So, is anything we can do about it? Of course there is. First of all, is our food production, because the agriculture has a big impact, because we use a lot of fertilizer, pesticides. We do intensify agriculture so we can feed billions of animals that we breed on purpose for our food. And also the animal farming has also a big impact, because animals, these billions of animals, they produce manure and urine that ends up also in rivers and then in the sea. And we have big areas now of oceans that are covered with sea algae that is blooming from this manure and fertilizers that end up in the sea, and the waste of animals. And it's like dead zones, because no marine life can live there. These areas are destroyed, really. So, and then we use chemicals. We have heavy industries, and that they don't proceed their wastes, and they end up in the sea. And this also have a big impact in the marine life, kills all marine creatures. So what we can do, we can start first of all try to eliminate our meat production and meat consumption. Start eating less meat, or become vegan is preferably. I wish. And that will solve a big problem. Also buy organic food, or organic vegetables, and try to buy as much as eco-friendly products as you can. Use less plastic. Single-use plastics are really destroying our marine life. And it's very funny, because most of the people, they don't use single-use straws, let's say, or plastic bags, because they think that this way they protect the fish and the marine life. But on the other hand, they're eating fish. Is, contradictory to want to save the marine life and then eat it. Anyway, we will do another video for that. So what else we do on land that has a big impact in the marine life? We produce a lot of CO2. That means we produce a lot of carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide, half of it is dissolved in the oceans. The oceans, they do us the favor to dissolve this carbon dioxide and produce half of the oxygen we breathe, because we think only forests produce oxygen, but it's not true. Half of our oxygen that we breathe on Earth is coming from sea algae that is on the surface of the oceans. And also the oceans absorb, as I told before, carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide, when it's dissolved in the oceans, it begins a chemical reaction that is very difficult to explain right now. But this chemical reaction has as result all the shells and the creatures that have exoskeleton. That means they use the carbon to build their body. They use calcium also to build their body. This chemical reaction that happens when the carbon dioxide, it dissolves in the oceans, it harms them. Don't let them make their natural cycle and destroy their shells, and then they die. And this we can see very, very clear in coral reefs, and corals are very, very sensitive also in the warming of the water. That also is happening now. From the global warming, the seas are getting more warm, the oceans are getting more warm. That was also an effect in the chemical reactions that happens in the seawater. And many creatures are in danger, and coral reefs, of course. And what we can do, maybe you say, I do a lot of things, I don't use plastic, I live in a country that promotes the renewable energy, I do whatever it takes, I eat organic, I'm vegan. But the problem is that we do, but we must start informing the people around us for how important and how difficult the situation is. Not from a pessimistic side. We can do a lot of things. As I said before, we maybe as individuals feel small and that we can't do a difference, but as groups, as bigger groups, as countries, and as humanity, when we get together and we help each other, we can do a lot of things. And yes, starting by ourselves. Okay, maybe we can't do a big impact only by ourselves, but if you multiply that in 7 billion people, it's a big difference. And we can see that because other things had happened until now that show us that we have the power as individuals, as our consumers, and as our responsible Earth citizens, Earthlings. So, yes, the problem with carbon dioxide is big because the oceans can't absorb all the carbon dioxide. They have a capacity that they can absorb, and over this capacity, it starts the problem, because then the ocean can manage to absorb all this carbon dioxide, and this excess is killing the marine life. Hopefully, we will find soon a solution. So, in my opinion, we must now promote more the renewable energy devices that we still have, we have already, and more coming, hopefully. And yes, with this we are going to go to the next video that will be about climate change, because our biggest problem right now is climate change. And after this pandemic, not after this pandemic, but during this pandemic also, we have to think ways to get out of it, doing a green recovery, and is already in European Union level and in United Nations level have already started a lot of discussions of how we can use these extra trillions of money that have been now available to the global economy, and use them to do a green recovery and solve this problem and solve our ocean and save our oceans, at least stop harming them. If we don't, save is a big word, but at least not harming them. So see you next time. Bye bye.